Good day, viewers. My name is Tunde Dada, pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Kingdom Builders family. I welcome you to today's Open Heavens Reflection. And today we are looking at the topic, God calls up. God calls up. Our text is taken from the book of Mark, chapter 3. I read from verse 13 to verse 15. Mark chapter 3, verse 13 to 15. And he went up on the mountain and called to him those he himself wanted, and they came to him. Then he appointed 12, that they might be with him, and that he might send them out to preach, and to have power to heal sicknesses, and to cast out demons. Our memory verse for today is Mark chapter 3, verse 13. And he went up on the mountain and called to himself those he himself wanted, and they came to him. In today's devotional, Pastor Adeboye identified the two characteristics of God's call from the Open Heavens Daily Devotional. The first is that God's call is a call to uplifting. In the Bible passage we read today, Jesus called those he wanted to come up to the mountain with him. Since he is up, when he calls you, it is upwards. In most cases, he calls from nothing to something. He can call a beggar from scavenging in the dunghill to feasting with kings. Similarly, he can call ordinary fishermen to keep company with the King of Kings. And that's what is in Mark chapter 1, verse 16 to 18. And so whatever happens, God's call moves you up. No wonder David was speaking in the book of Psalms chapter 40, verse 1 to 2. He said, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. God also calls unto separation. If he calls you, my brother, if he calls you, my sister, he expects you to separate from others in order to fulfill the call. The disciples he called up, the ill in today's reading, you know that they never returned to what they used to be. Their call moved them from being disciples to apostles. And guess what? Figuratively, they remained on the mountaintop. When Abraham got God's call, he was asked to separate himself from his country, from his kindred, and his father's house. After Elisha's call, he killed his farm animals and burnt the tools. When God calls you, you may be required to do away with certain legitimate things and activities in order to make good your calling. If God has called you, you can no longer do what everybody else does. All you need to do is make your calling and election sure. The Lord will keep and sustain you in the name of Jesus. If he is the one who has called you, my brother, if he is the one who has called you, my sister, he will sustain you. He will give you all that you need to fulfill your calling. And you know what? He expects you to be faithful to your calling. Is the Lord calling you? And how are you responding to that call? Our action point. God's call is a higher call. Is he calling you today? Listen and obey his call. If you don't know what to do, why don't you just seek help and counseling from other trusted and matured men of God? Listen to his voice. Respond positively to his call, and your life will never remain the same. God bless you, and thanks for watching. Bye.